Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sai Kiran. Guys, in today's session, this is not that super duper technical. If anyone is already from the technical background, you might already know all these things, whatever we are going to discuss today. But if you watch in our Azure DevOps repo, Azure DevOps web page, in the left side, you will be having something called boards, and also you will be having something called sprints, and also some artifacts. All right, and also we'll be having some test cases option. All right, so we are going to discuss all these things today. All these will comes under project management itself only. So we are going to discuss about the project management stuff today, guys. All right, so once this project management things have been completed, and then I do have something which is one or two DevOps activities. All right, this was actually one of the service on my topmed channel, so I'm going to give it free for our Azure DevOps members only. I sincerely request you not to share with anyone, guys, please, because that was honestly my blood and sweat. Whatever I have prepared on those one or two DevOps engineer activities, it has taken me almost 6 7 days to filter it out what was the regular task we have did, because the dump whatever is there, it's from right since 2020. So I have sat for long days and then I have filtered it out. I'll show you everything. I'm not going to upload anywhere, I'm extremely sorry, but I do have the file here already. I'm going to show you everything. Just take the screenshots or something, because if I upload this, I have to put it in a private repository again. Individually I have to give all the access to it, so it's not good. But I'll show you everything here itself only, not now. End of the session I'll show you, then we can take the screenshots of one after one. All right, so this session is not highly technical as I said before, but it mainly focuses on project management concepts, and also specifically using Azure DevOps dashboards, guys. In Azure DevOps boards, as I said before, in Azure DevOps boards, we manage tasks and workflows using features like backlogs, guys. This is very important term, backlogs, or we have something called heads up call. Actually this can be also called as catch up call. We'll be having two catch up calls. In my environment I do have two catch up calls. One is with the Indian customers, and the second one is with the UK customers. All right, this was again based on the project for wherever you are going for. And the third most important thing is sprint. All right, so we'll go over these concepts, but first let's try to understand what exactly is agile process, guys. Everyone who is been part of this DevOps or any of the IT background, they should be knowing about this process, agile process. All right, so let's discuss this step by step. Let's not rush. However, we have completed all the pipeline stuff, and then application deployment things. So there is something called heads up call. Right, so this is the meeting where everyone working on the project, whomsoever it is, scrum manager, project manager, or managers, or your colleagues, everyone will be part of this heads up call itself only. Again, there will be two calls. One is with your client, and then other one is with your team members. End of your shift, you might be having the COP call also. Right, so the primary purpose of this sync up call is to discuss the progress of your work. All right, and also you might be discussing about what you are going to do next once after the current task has been completed, and if there were any blockers, that is blocking your activity, any burnout tasks. All right, the terms whatever I'm using here, all those were agile terms itself only. There is another important thing which is backlogs. This is very very important. I will tell you one. use case scenario, not use case scenario. I will tell you one actual scenario what is going on in the organizations. In my previous environment, we do have total of 5 teams, guys. This is team 1, team 2, this is team 3, and this is team 4. Okay, listen carefully, this will be very useful for you if you doesn't know. Total 4 teams were there. In this team, some 5 members supposed to be there: development team, web team, middleware team, backend team. Some 10 members, some 6 members, some 4 members will be there. For each and every team, one common teams group supposed to be there. One teams group, here also one teams group, here also one teams group, and here also one teams group will be there. Okay, and here comes us, which are DevOps engineers. Let's say in our previous environment we are only 6 members. All our 6 members will be added in this group. All our 6 members will be added in this group. All our 6 members will be added in this group, and all our 6 members will be added in this common groups. Just imagine the pressure what does this DevOps engineer will be having. Most of the developers, some, I'm not uh, defaming anyone, but some developers or some middleware engineers or some backend engineers or some front end engineers, they don't even know some basic issues how to resolve. And simply whenever they deploy something, the very first ping they will ping it to the DevOps engineers in the common group. Everybody, this team also, this team, everyone will be pinging DevOps engineers in the common group, tagging you, and will be asking you, we had an issue, can you please resolve. They'll be just thinking us that DevOps engineers are everything. All right, I'm just saying you the hierarchy. DevOps engineers will be merged in this common group. All right, this is not over. every monday every Monday and every Tuesday we'll be having one planning call, guys. In this planning call, we'll be involving these 4 teams. So we are going to take their requirements in the sense, for example, what do you want? We are going to ask the front end team, what do you want? For example, they want some GitLab runners where in the production account. This is one task. Okay, and then second team is going to say we want some RDS with multi instance. Okay, this is second task. And some other team will be giving third task, and some other team will be giving fourth task. Likewise, whatever work they were having, they are going to tell us that we want this and this. Why they are telling all these things to DevOps engineers is, we will be having the admin access to all our AWS account, but these people will be having the limited access. Whomsoever is there, middleware engineer, DevOps engineer, or some XYZ engineers, all will be having the limited access. Only DevOps engineer will be having the full access, guys, administrator access. That's the reason why they do not have any permissions to go and directly create. Instead, we are the middle persons for everyone. During this call itself only, we are going to ask whether this activity is a priority or not. If it is a priority, how many days you're expecting us to do this? So if they are asking within next 4 to 5 days, or within one day we want, then we will push this to the current sprint. Okay, I will tell you what exactly sprint, don't worry. If they are saying okay, this can be done after 2 weeks, or this can be done after next week, then we will move this to the sprint 3. Then we will move this to the sprint 2. Where were all this sprint 3 and sprint 2? It will be stored under this backlog itself only. That's the actual meaning of backlogs. Understand? We are going to take all the requirements from all the name, and we will create the Jira tickets, or we will create the tickets on the Azure DevOps boards, and then we will move those to the backlogs. And once this week has been completed, today is Saturday, today is Friday, tomorrow is Saturday, and next day is Sunday. From Monday, we are going to take the cases from the backlogs, and then we are going to work accordingly, guys. All right, this is the actual meaning of backlogs. All these tasks were associated with the different environments, like for example dev environment, for example prod environment, for example pre-prod environment. okay, or UAT environment, all these things. Got it? The main purpose of this backlogs is to define the work plan for the project. For example, backlogs might include tasks such as account creation. As I said before, this RDS creation is it. This is going to take some 5 hours because we are going to do it via Terraform. And there is an another task. This is going to take somewhere around 2 hours, all right, and there is a development task which is going to take some 60 hours, okay, and there is a DevOps engineer task which is going to take some 100 hours, let's say. So task estimates often depends on the billing and also resource allocation too. You don't need to take care of all the things whatever I have said now. Your project manager or your scrum manager is going to take care, or your platform owner. If they do have a lot of work in their plates, so simply what they will do is they will ask your lead to take the requirements of the different teams, or they will ask your lead to walk up the call, which means if you are the lead, you are supposed to walk the call till the end. Like you have to ask them, what do you want, what kind of task you're expecting from us, like is there any like severity or priority requirements. All these things will be created on the backlogs and we are going to put it in the sprint. All right, backlogs can also be referred as with a different term. Don't get confused, this is something called sprint grooming. Got it? Where the teams discusses and refines the scope and time estimates for the task whatever they are giving. Got it? So once the sprint planning is completed, the client might request additional tasks whenever you are working. For example, today sprint 3 is going on. Okay, when the sprint 3 is going on, client will be coming back and asking your platform owner, can you please do this work? And already we do have enough work in our plate for the sprint 3. So what we'll say is, for this sprint it is not possible, we want this to move to the sprint 5. If it is priority, then we will move some of this sprint 3 activities to the sprint 5 and we'll make this as a priority, or we will ask the additional engineers to work on the priority task first. All right, in such cases team evaluates the feasibility. If the task cannot fit into the current sprint, they will be deferred to the next sprint, guys. All right, this is actually a agile process. All right, if anyone doesn't know this, please try to understand and also try to watch video on the YouTube, guys. Just type agile in 10 minutes, you're going to get one video which will be having 3 million views. I cannot show the video here now because my screen was completely landed on the table, I was just writing on the screen. All right, so the next thing what we'll try to understand is there is something called sprint again. I was using a word called sprint, right? Sprint is nothing but basically everyone will be having 2 week sprint, guys. For example, I will tell you, I have a task to create a GitLab runner. So if I do this, if I start this activity on this Monday, I have to complete within this sprint. Each sprint will be having 14 days. Even if you complete the task in within 2 days, don't tell them that it has been completed. Just drag it for other 7 days and try to help your friends. Okay, if they got to know that this activity has already been completed in the before sprint itself only, then definitely they are going to add one more task for you in the current sprint. So in this sprint includes, now I'm going to show you the dashboard. In this sprint includes boards and then Confluence pages. This Confluence is one of the important tool, guys. If you do have time, please try to explore this Confluence page, because most of the organizations will be using this Atlassian tools itself only. It is a combination of Confluence and then Jira. We also do have the Jira. for the ticketing and tracking purpose. So try to explore this Confluence. So I'll also show you this Confluence page. Now let's try to jump onto the Azure DevOps page, guys, and explore the things like what were the sprints, what were these boards, what were the artifacts, what were the test cases, and what were these repos, and how you can set the policies for repos. See, in real time, no one will be telling you this. In real time, if you wanted to create one GitHub repository, what we will do, we will just go and select GitHub, right? And then we are going to select the readme file, and then we are going to give the name. That's all, done. GitHub repository is done. We will create GitHub repository. In real time, for creating this repository or for creating this group, it will take at least 10 to 15 minutes of time if you're new to it, because it's not like what you do in the in your daily life. In real time, when you're creating the GitLab repo, or GitHub repo, you have to follow some lot of restrictions, because you are not supposed to give access to everyone to push the code. There is an option in the GitLab when you're creating, or in the GitHub when you're creating, and at least 2 or 3 reviewers supposed to be there. We can also set this, and at least one execution role and one view role supposed to be there. All right. And also, you have to follow some set of restrictions, guys. It's not like just go and click, give the name and then create. No, 100% no. But you have to follow some set of restrictions to avoid any unnecessary pushes. See, there is an option in a GitLab when you're creating the GitLab repo, or in the Azure DevOps also we do have one option. I'm sorry, guys, I'll close this. And Azure DevOps also we do have some option. The guy, the developer, or the person whomsoever is working on that particular repo, he cannot rebase. He can only do the basic merge. I will show you all this. All right, all these restrictions we can follow from the repositories actually. Got it? Let me open our Azure DevOps repo and explain you the things, guys. So first I'm going to show you the one or two DevOps engineer activities, guys. See, you will not be finding any solutions here. These were the actual real-time tasks. No one will be telling you this. On daily basis, you'll be working on these different types of real-time activities. All right, I will scroll down slowly. Try to take the screenshots, pause the video and take the screenshots, guys. That's all. All right, let's minimize this and I'll open Azure DevOps repo. Here it is. You can delete all the virtual machines and you can delete all the organizations whatever you have created. From now, today is the last session in the Azure DevOps series, and within next week, I'll start the Jenkins series, guys. Today is 18th, right? 27th, I'll start the Jenkins series. I'll try to complete it as soon as possible, because this week I do have time. I'll try to do the videos and then I'll start posting from 27th itself. I'll not make you feel bored. I know waiting for the long time is quite disgusting, but I do have really a lot of work, office work only, not any personal work. That's the reason why I'm unable to do any kind of videos, but surely I will deliver some of the best videos, guys. Don't worry about that. So if I come to this project, left side you can able to see something called boards here. See, or else I'll open this in a different one. Yeah, go to any of the project, Terraform Infra, and see, here you will be watching some boards. Under boards, as I said before, look here, backlogs and then sprints. For example, I'll go to the sprint. You are going to create the sprints here. See, this is sprint 1. New sprint I'll create. I will mark this as sprint 2. What was the start date of the sprint 2? 20. And what was the end date? 31st. Create. I'll create one more sprint. This is sprint 3. February, right? Feb 3rd. Let's take. and yeah, Feb 14, and then select create. See, total how many sprints were there? 1, 2, and then 3. This is the current sprint. The current sprint is 2 here. All right. As I said before in the introduction, I'll be heading up with the different teams to the meetings, and I'll be taking the requirement, guys. And I will create the backlogs here. For example, new item. I will just open my Excel, and let's say one of the team is asking that ELK stash is not working. These were all not comes under any kind of sprints, but you have to work simultaneously along with your tasks. So let's take this evaluation of. I'll mark this and then I'll add to top. If you do have any other task, for example, create test module for GitLab module migration. I will come here and then I'll post it, add to top. Or else if some other team is asking that they wanted to run Terraform locally, I will take the task and then I will create unable to access KMS when creating the secret key management server. I will create another task here. See, total how many tasks were there to do? 4 tasks were there. And slowly now what I'll do is just open this and then move the iteration to the sprint one. I'll move this to the sprint one. If you come back to the sprint one, see, I can able to see everything here. All right, this is sprint 2 and sprint 1. I can able to see this. We just moved it to the sprint 1, so someone will be working accordingly to it. If you wanted to move it, you can move it to the to do, but I will show you in a more detailed way. If you come back to the boards, you can able to see everything here. Now if you're working on this ticket on task, you can move this to the doing. In Jira it will be showing as in progress. All right, so I will just open this ticket. If you wanted to add any comments, for example, I will say MR has been raised, waiting for the review, and then I will add the comment here. All right, you can also check the history, whatever is going on. You can select this history option and you can check all the history from here, because sometimes your platform owner or project manager, they are not going to ask you all the statuses. They will just simply come back to this board and then they are going to check where exactly the work was. All right, and once this task has been done, you can simply come back to the task again. um, yeah, yeah, come back to the task again, and you can select this and click on done. Save it, go to the boards. You can be see this as done, which means task has been completed successfully. Likewise, if you're working on this task in this sprint, and then you have to work on it accordingly, or if you wanted to move this to the any other sprint, just select move to iteration and select it to the sprint 3. So it will move into sprint 3, because this is not priority for me. That's the reason why I have moved it to the sprint 3. Here it is. All right, as I said before, there is one page called Confluence, guys. Please make sure that you're habitating it from now itself only. It's very good. All your documentation, whatever is there in your real time, everything will be in the Confluence tool itself only. You have to come here, you have to search, for example, EKS upgrade. You have to search Confluence document will be reflecting here, and then you have to watch the document and work on it accordingly. Or if you wanted to create any document, you do have your separate space here. Just create a space, you can give the name whatever you want, and then you can create some custom documents. You can also private is good. You can also keep those under private tab, not only public tab. See, if you create here page, and I will write everything here. EK some grade. Likewise, I'm not going to write everything now, but I'm just showing compatibility matrix. You can also add the reviewers here. Once after it is done, you can make it as publish, and then you can also add the reviewers, guys. All right, try to explore this tool. This is very good tool. There are a lot of things to know in this Confluence space, so please try to watch it. And also I do have the Jira dashboard also, which I've shown during the time of DevSecOps, sorry. Mm, Jira also looks quite similar to this Azure DevOps repo itself only. Get started. The Jira dashboard also looks quite similar to it. So if you do have anything to create, just click on create. How can I close this? Okay. So just click on, you have to click on create, and then you have to select the project here and give the summary. Scroll down and then give the description here. You can also select the task type like task or epic storyboard, everything will be there. And status, it should be in to do itself only. Now you're just creating, right? Assignee, I'll select mine, or you can also give the assignee name directly here, or you can also put this under backlogs, guys. See here, actually this is not a premier version, that's why it is not showing, but in the left side you will be seeing one tab called backlog. Whatever you are creating here, you can move that to the backlog activities actually. All right, so I'm not showing everything here in this Jira board because we do not have full access to show, guys. Honestly, this is not a premium one. If you go to the premium, the whole picture will be different actually. You'll be seeing all the backlogs and you'll be seeing all the for example, I'll try to show you some Google images. Jira images, see here, see this image. See, it will be like this: to do, progress. If you're working, if you're not working, it will be under to do. If you're working, you have to move that to the in progress. You will be having one option right side, and you have to select and you have to mention it as in progress. And code review, and then done finally. All right, see the backlog option is there here, left side. Got it? Try to explore this or try to install it in your local also. It is free only. They are not going to cost you anything. This Confluence is also free. For the first 2 GB or 3 GB, they are going to give you free access. Try to install it, guys. All right. And the next thing is repos, which is very important. As I said you before, it's not like directly you can go and create the repo. First, you have to select when creating the repos. There is something called commits, pushes, and then go to the branches, not branches, repos, and then commits, I think. Go to the branches and see, you'll be watching some option called branch policies here. If you click on branch policies, you'll be seeing lot of option, guys. Number of minimum number of reviewers, I want 3. And also you can check mark this allow requester to approve their own changes and prohibit the most recent pusher from the approving the changes. See, check for linked work items. I don't know this. Check for comment resolution and limit merge types. See here, you can disable everything and you can only give the access to do the basic merging, not everything. And build validation. I didn't try this. Statistic. If there is a GitLab, then I could show you more. Wait, let me log in if GitLab is. If GitLab is there, I can show you more because currently I'm working on the GitLab only. Oh, it's not working. Statistic, I haven't used this before. So these are the all strict rules you're going to follow when you are creating your repo, guys. And if I come back to the project here, and pipelines, we have already explored the pipelines. And test plans, I'm really not sure about this test plans because this is purely a developer activity, developer task, or this is purely a QA task. We are not going to do anything here, honestly, I'm telling you. But in the interview, if they are asking, see, they might be asking you the question also. There will be dashboards. So from the left side on the Azure DevOps report, what were those? You can explain this. Boards, under boards, will be having backlogs, sprints, queries, and then repos, pipelines, test plans, and then artifacts. Artifacts is again something, for example, if you wanted to integrate, see, connect to feed. If I want Maven, I do have the Maven settings here. If I want Gradle, or if I want pip, and then see here .NET application, Visual Studio Code, npm, everything will be there here. It will be used for the packages, guys. If there were any dependencies in your code, then this will be very helpful. Actually Azure DevOps is a very good platform to work on the CI/CD part and the integrations, but the billing was quite expensive. That's the reason why most of them is not going to use this Azure. Everything will be available in the Azure DevOps if you watch carefully. Repos you can be available here only. Third party integrations, we do have many under the marketplace, and also service connections. And here boards, you don't need to use Jira again. Additionally, you can do it everything from here itself. Only in the single tool everything is there, but it's quite expensive. All right, I hope you understand. Let's end up this session with one last thing. In interview, they will be asking you what were your branching strategies. All right, I will draw here for the better understanding. So whenever they are asking your branching strategies, see, actually we'll be having main and then master, guys. This is common everywhere. This head commit, whatever is there, it's going to tips its head to the production branch. So we are not going to touch this at any cost. But under this, we'll be having separate branch like dev, UAT, and then some staging or something, let's say. All right, and again we are not going to do any code changes here. There will be separate branch, feature branching strategy, that's why it is called feature 1, feature 2, and then feature 3. So you're going to do the modifications here. All right, so once it is good to go, then you will raise a MR to the staging, or you will raise a MR to the UAT, or you will raise a MR to the development environment. Once it is good to go, then they are going to merge here. And if you got any kind of issues here once after merging in the production branch, then we do have something called hotfix. All right, so in interview, if they are asking, we do follow feature branching strategy. Our main and master head commits will always tips it head to the production branch. And we do have three different environments like dev, UAT, and then staging. And we are going to do necessary modifications on the feature branch. Once it is good to go, then we are going to raise a PR to the developers. And then once it is said to be good, then we are going to merge it to the different environments like dev, UAT, and then staging. And finally, if it needs to be merged to the production branch, then we will also going to merge it to the production branch. So these were the branching strategies we are going to follow. You should be explaining this in this way. All right, thank you so much for supporting us since the day one. And I'll take just 1 week break in the sense, I'll be available on the LinkedIn, I'll be available on the YouTube, I'll be posting shorts and then also interview questions. Simultaneously I will complete the Jenkins also. It will take 5 or 6 days. You don't need to pay any amount for this Jenkins because you are already a member here. I'm going to post all the videos in the membership itself only for the Jenkins. And if you haven't disabled your auto payment 799, please disable it, guys. It's only for one time transaction. Don't do multiple, I mean, don't renew it on every month. Please cancel it. Got it? So once Jenkins has been completed, I will take 2 to 3 weeks of break, and then I will start preparing videos on GCP. Okay, just like AWS how we did, I will try to do GCP, or I will try to do Azure. I'll ask our friends on the YouTube. I'll keep a voting. So whichever cloud is getting more votes, then I'm going to proceed with it accordingly. All right. So that's all for today, guys. This is the end of the Azure DevOps. Again, many people were confused. they are joining and they were asking where is Azure. See, this is Azure DevOps, guys. Azure is different and then Azure DevOps is different. And they're asking projects. I have already did the project deployment on the very first, and then I have did the infrastructure management with Terraform. Those were more than enough. If you do the practicals and if you start giving the interviews, those videos were really enough. But only with the Azure DevOps you cannot crack a job. Along with the Azure DevOps, you should know one cloud, either AWS or Azure, because if you doesn't know any cloud and where you're going to apply these strategies, CI/CD strategies, on which cloud. So that's the reason why you should know one cloud. Before starting of the session also I told you that one cloud is required, starting of the DevSecOps session. All right, that's all for today. See you in the tomorrow session, guys. Have a nice day. Bye bye.